Welcome to the deep dive. We plunge into fascinating material, always looking for those surprising facts, those new perspectives. Today, we're not just, reading a story. We're really tackling this gripping narrative set way back in colonial America.
Right.
We're delving into excerpts from Robert McCammon's Speaks the Nightbird, Judgment of the Witch. Got that slightly wrong there.
It happens. And yeah, we've got the sources right here, the words that paint this incredibly vivid picture of a deeply troubled community.
Exactly.
And look, this isn't just historical fiction, is it? It's more like a meticulously crafted puzzle. It's really designed to make you question, well, everything.
Yeah.
So our mission today really is to peel back the layers of what looks like a straightforward witch trial.
Right, the usual story.
But underneath, you find this intricate, frankly terrifying web of human ambition, fear, and sheer deception. And you'll discover how this young clerk, Matthew Corbett, armed with, well, not much more than a sharp mind and this, relentless curiosity, how he navigates a world that's just desperate for simple, dangerous answers.
So get ready to journey with us. We're heading to this remote, kind of decaying outpost where justice, well, feels like a luxury.
Definitely.
Truth is treated like a weapon, and the dark corners of the human heart, honestly, they seem far more frightening than any, supernatural evil they're talking about.
That's it, exactly.
We're going to explore what happens when a whole community just loses its way,
Yeah.
and what it actually takes for one person, just one, to stand against that tide.
Okay, so where do we start this deep dive?
Well, it begins with a really arduous journey. Try and picture yourself alongside Magistrate Woodward and his young clerk, Matthew Corbett.
Okay.
They're making their way to this remote Carolina settlement, Fount Royal, and it's perilous, made even more ominous because another magistrate, Kingsbury, he just vanished on the same route.
Oh, wow. Not a good sign.
Not at all. And Matthew, he's young, hardened by being an orphan, He describes the wilderness with this, chilling precision.
Right, that dripping green hell.
Exactly. Haunted by wild Indians, savage animals, and just this oppressive sense of being alone. To him, even Charlestown, with its, quote, lice and plague deaths, looks like paradise compared to this place.
Yeah, he's already decided the settlers must be, well, insane, as he puts it, to try and live there.
Pretty much.
And that opening, it just immediately sets up the harsh realities, doesn't it? And that core contrast between Matthew and Woodward.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, Matthew is, as you said, lean, sinewy, sharp-angled, kind of stoic, a survivor.
Right.
Woodward, though, he's older, principled, very outwardly civil. He insists on dressing in clean clothes for dinner, even in these crude surroundings.
It seems kind of strange, maybe.
Well, it's not just a quirk, I think. It's like this defiant act, holding on to dignity when everything around you is sort of falling apart.
And there's that one item that really represents that dignity, isn't there? His waistcoat.
Oh, absolutely. That magnificent garment, the dark brown waistcoat with the gold threads and ivory buttons.
Yeah.
It's more than just clothes. It's a relic, From his past life as a gentleman of means back in London.
Ah, yeah.
It's this tangible link to who he used to be, a symbol of refinement he just refuses to let go of, even in poverty. He actually sleeps with it draped over him sometimes.
Wow.
But underneath all that composure, there's this deep, unspoken torment. Matthew hears him sometimes in his nightmares, whispering about Anne and hurting. It hints at this profound, unaddressed personal tragedy. It just adds this layer of human vulnerability to a man who tries to project such control.
Yeah, it tells you everyone's carrying something, doesn't it?
Exactly, even the stoic ones.
So their first stop on this journey is Shawcom's Tavern. And that immediately gives them a taste of the local flavor.
And it's not a pleasant taste, is it?
No. Raw, dangerous. Hints of the darkness waiting in Fount Royal. Shawcom himself is terrifying, described as a bully who reveled in power over the weak. Matthew's just sickened by his, quote, ignorance, pettiness, pure cruelty, and Shawcom is fixated on Woodward's waistcoat.
Of course.
And makes these gross remarks about Matthew. But it's right here, in this ugly place, that Matthew's sharp observation skills really kick in.
Yeah, it's a really pivotal moment for foreshadowing, isn't it?
How so?
Well, Shawcom just casually mentions this Spanish piece, right? A gold coin he says he got from a dead Indian. And then he hints at pirate's gold. It seems like a minor detail, just him bragging cruelly.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But it's this critical thread Matthew picks up later. It's like the author's subtly telling us, pay attention. Nothing's random.
Right. Every little detail might be part of this bigger, more dangerous puzzle.
Exactly. It forces Matthew and us, really, to look past the surface story.
And that detail is just the first layer Matthew has to peel back. Because when they finally arrive in Fount Royal, what they find is a town just falling apart.
Yeah, total contrast to the grand plans of its master governor, Bidwell.
Bidwell had big dreams for this place, right?
Huge. He envisioned this thriving port, trade, naval base, even a fort against the Spanish. The reality is, well, it's a ghost of that dream. Empty houses, gardens gone to weed, broken fences.
Oh, dear.
The population's dwindling, partly from illness, but also because this fear of the witch.
Ah, the witch.
And Bidwell. He's convinced the devils took root. He's desperate. He doesn't want a fair trial. He wants a quick fix. Scapegoat.
So he wants Rachel Howarth dealt with quickly.
Yeah. Put to death. Fire, hanging, drowning, whatever, he says. That desperation, that need for a swift, brutal answer, it just sets the whole tone.
And the accused, Rachel Howarth, she immediately stands out, doesn't she? The sources mention her exotic beauty and nigrescent coloring.
Right, a darker complexion from her Portuguese mother and dark Irishman father.
And that difference, her appearance, it's highlighted straight away as a major source of suspicion and fear.
Absolutely. She's marked as surely as a raven among doves, the text says. Her perceived otherness makes her such an easy target in that environment.
So vulnerable.
Precisely. And the charges against her are, well, tragically typical for witch trials back then.
Like what?
Accusations of murdering the Reverend Grove and her own husband, Daniel, finding poppets, those little dolls used for magic in her house, bearing supposed devil's marks on her body, and crucially, being unable to recite the Lord's Prayer perfectly.
Wow. Standard playbook almost.
Pretty much. Accusations designed to create this narrative of evil, regardless of any actual evidence.
So Woodward starts interviewing witnesses, but Matthew, his clerk, he's not just writing things down, he's observing, questioning.
Yeah, he's looking beyond the surface. And you start hearing these conflicting views, which is really important for Matthew's journey.
Like Mrs. Nettles.
Exactly. Bidwell's housekeeper, sharp-witted, and she courageously defends Rachel. She says, Satan does walk in Fount Royal, but Rachel Howarth's not the one beside him.
That's brave.
Incredibly brave. She even hints that speaking up for Rachel could get you hanged yourself. In a town gripped by fear, that's real defiant.
And then there's Good, the carriage driver.
Ah, yes, Good. He's enslaved, and he offers this truly profound insight. He notes how peculiar it is that only them English seen things about the witch.
What does he mean?
He asks, with this, piercing logic, how come Satan don't talk German nor Dutch and he don't talk to us darks neither?
Wow, that gets deep.
Doesn't it? It's not just a question. It's this stark commentary on the cultural and racial biases at play. Who gets to see? Who gets to interpret? Who gets to condemn?
Yeah, it makes you realize immediately that the whole witchcraft narrative is being, selectively applied.
Totally.
And Matthew's processing all this. His internal thoughts are fascinating. He sees the case as a puzzle, right?
Yes, he has this curiosity for puzzles. He's striving for that state where all the pieces fit to perfection.
So he's not just accepting what people say.
Not at all. He refuses to accept mere contentions as facts. Even when Bidwell tries to bully him, tries to pressure him into agreeing.
That refusal to compromise, even under duress, it kind of solidifies him as Rachel's unlikely champion, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows he's a genuine seeker of truth, not just someone recording events. In a world screaming for a simple answer, usually blaming the outsider.
Yeah.
Matthew demands intellectual rigor. He's not swayed by the hysteria or the politics. That curiosity for puzzles becomes his moral compass.
Guiding him to look for logic when everyone else is just embracing superstition.
Exactly. He's learning to trust his own judgment, which is frankly a dangerous thing to do in Fount Royal.
But necessary.
Absolutely necessary.
Yeah, okay, so now we get into the real depths. Matthew starts pulling at these threads, and what looked like witchcraft starts to unravel into something else entirely. A conspiracy.
A sinister, meticulously planned conspiracy hiding right under the surface.
Let's start with the first big shock. The hypnotic ratcatcher, Gwyneth Linch. Matthew connects the dots, right?
He does. He has this aha moment. Violet Adams gives this chilling testimony seeing the devil and an imp singing a specific tune.
Come out, my dames and dandies.
Come out, and taste my candies. That exact tune. And Matthew connects that specific sing-song way of speaking to Gwyneth Linch, the ratcatcher.
That must have been jarring.
Oh, incredibly. It's this chilling insight. What seems supernatural was actually psychological manipulation.
How did Lynch do it?
Matthew figures out Lynch has this strange, almost hypnotic power. He uses a glinting brooch, right? And this particular vocal rhythm to basically erase reality and construct a lifelike fiction. He implants false memories, false visions into people like Violet, Buckner, Garrick.
So he made them think they saw the devil.
Essentially, yes. It wasn't just suggestion. It was this profound manipulation of their perception. It completely undermines the whole idea of eyewitness testimony in this case.
Wow. Shows how easily people's minds can be messed with, especially when they're already scared.
Exactly. The real witchcraft here is Lynch's cunning use of suggestion and psychology. It's terrifyingly human.
Okay, so that's one layer peeled back. Supernatural evil turns out to be human manipulation. But Matthew doesn't stop there. He goes back to that Spanish gold coin from Shockham's Tavern.
Right, that seemingly minor detail from way back at the start of their journey.
What was the real story there?
Yeah.
He'd lied about it earlier, hadn't he?
He had. He'd made up a story about pirates' gold to Nicholas Payne, the militia captain, just to deflect. But now Matthew suspects the truth is way more dangerous. That coin points towards a Spanish spy operating in Fount Royal.
A spy. Inside the settlement.
Possibly an Englishman in appearance, maybe paying local Indians for their loyalty. Which, if true, completely blows up Bidwell's grand vision of Fount Royal as this strong defense against the Spanish.
It suggests an enemy within. Treason, almost.
Precisely. The gold isn't just treasure. It's a sign of betrayal, of geopolitical games being played. A calculated effort to destabilize the colony.
And doesn't Matthew find more evidence later?
He does. He makes this startling find more gold and silver coins, even silverware, pottery shards hidden by Good, the carriage driver.
Hidden by Good.
Yeah, and Good suggests they came from the bellies of turtles in the spring, linking this illicit treasure cache directly to the nearby swamp.
Turtles in the spring, that's bizarre.
It is, but it connects the hidden wealth to the landscape, to secrecy. It adds another layer of mystery and danger.
So we've got mind control, possible espionage. But Matthew digs even deeper, right into Fount Royal's leadership. He uncovers this twisted sense of justice involving Dr. Shields and Nicholas Payne.
That's right. He finds out the truth about Payne's murder, the very militia captain Matthew had lied to about the gold.
Who killed him?
Dr. Shields, the town doctor. He confesses to Matthew that he executed Payne.
Why?
Revenge. Shields reveals Payne was the highwayman who murdered his elder son years ago, back in Boston. It's this personal vendetta he's carried all this time.
Wow, so Shields took justice into his own hands.
He did, but it gets even darker. Bidwell, the master governor, knows about Shields' past, about the murder in Boston.
Oh no.
And he blackmails the doctor, offers to clear Shields' tavern debts, keep his rum supplied. If Shields makes sure Magistrate Woodward stays sick but just functional enough to see the witch trial through to the conviction Bidwell wants.
That's utterly ruthless, using Shields' grief in crime like that.
It exposes Bidwell's complete lack of morality. He's manipulating everyone, twisting personal grief, professional duty, all for his own political ends, covering up one crime to ensure another conviction.
Just layer upon layer of corruption.
Exactly. Personal gain disguised as civic duty.
And right at the rotten core of all this deceit, the mastermind. Schoolmaster Johnstone.
Ah, Johnstone. Unraveling his identity is maybe the most astonishing part.
What does it tell us about, like, the power of putting on an act, especially when people are scared?
It tells us everything. Johnstone is a master of illusion. His whole persona, the deformed knee, the claims of attending Oxford, debating Latin with Reverend Grove.
All fake.
All an elaborate lie. Matthew exposes him as a former circus thespian, a master of deception whose real education came from surviving London's notorious Newgate prison.
A circus performer and ex-con, running the school.
And orchestrating the entire witchcraft scheme. He wanted control, wealth. He murdered Reverend Grove. He murdered Daniel Howarth, Rachel's husband, using this horrible 5-bladed device.
Good grief.
Then he framed Rachel for it all, his goal. Destabilize Fount Royal, discredit Bidwell, and ultimately take over the whole operation, the town's ambitions, the wealth.
And he kept the evidence.
Meticulously. The book on ancient Egypt used to confuse Grove, the murder weapon itself stored away in a hidden trunk. chillingly calculated.
It's just this deep-seated corruption. Vendettas, greed, power play is all hidden behind this convenient story of witchcraft.
It's incredibly cynical, isn't it? How easily they weaponize fear. Makes you seriously wonder how many real historical witch trials had similar calculated human evils at their heart.
Yeah, it really challenges you to look past those easy explanations.
Absolutely. The true witchcraft in Fount Royal, it wasn't supernatural. It was the calculated manipulation of truth, the twisting of fear by men like Johnstone and Bidwell.
Turning fear into a weapon to destroy an innocent woman just for their own gain.
It's a chilling reminder of how easily reason just gets thrown out the window when panic takes over, and how these carefully built lies, these cunning fictions, can become the accepted truth.
And while Matthew is uncovering all this horror, Magistrate Woodward is fading.
Yeah, his health just steadily declines throughout Matthew's investigation. He's battling fever, bleeding, those painful, frankly questionable treatments from Dr. Shields.
The very man who killed Payne and is being blackmailed by Bidwell. Ugh.
Exactly. There's this real sense of the clock ticking, not just for Rachel in the jail, but for Woodward, too.
And in that weakened state, Woodward finally opens up to Matthew, doesn't he?
He does. He shares this crushing grief losing his wife, Anne, and his son, Thomas, to the plague back in London. He talks about falling into alcoholism after that, his desperate move to the colonies. It's this moment of profound vulnerability. You see the broken man beneath the magistrate's robes.
And that vulnerability, it seems to forge a real bond between them.
A powerful, almost father-son bond solidifies right there. Woodward tells Matthew he sees him as a son. He acknowledges how Matthew has crafted himself into this man of self-worth through sheer grit and integrity.
That must have meant the world to Matthew being an orphan.
Absolutely. And that connection, it just steels Matthew's resolve. Woodward also gives him this poignant warning, doesn't he, about the nightbird.
Yeah, what was that about? A metaphor.
A metaphor, yeah, for seductive temptation that can lead a man astray. He's hinting at the allure of power, maybe of easy answers.
Or maybe Rachel herself.
Perhaps subtly hinting at Rachel's influence, yeah. Or just Matthew's own growing passion for the truth, which is becoming dangerous.
The nightbird warning. It's beautiful, but also kind of unsettling. What do you think Woodward was really trying to tell him?
I think he was imparting this crucial life lesson. The biggest temptations aren't always obvious evil. Sometimes they're the subtle compromises, the paths that look easier but lead you away from who you really are.
Right.
For Matthew, it's about holding on to his integrity, that unique ability he has to see through the cunning fictions, even when his heart might be pulling him towards danger.
Like a final piece of guidance.
Exactly. A father figure passing on wisdom, showing his deep respect for the young man Matthew's become.
And Matthew really takes that commitment to justice to heart. He knows Woodward is dying, but he can't betray what he now believes, that Rachel is innocent.
It becomes his driving force. He makes this champion's choice.
He decides to become her champion.
Fully accepting that destiny. He defies his duty as clerk, ignores the huge personal risk, and orchestrates her escape from the jail.
How does he manage that?
Well, he plans to get her to Spanish territory down in Florida, where she could claim sanctuary as a runaway English captive.
That's a long way through that wilderness.
A huge gamble. The escape itself is daring, involves telling a clever lie to Green, the guard, about Rachel wanting a last confession, and then leading her out into the treacherous swamp. He gives her sturdy clothes for the journey, including something she calls her wedding dress.
Her wedding dress, wow. Setting up into the swamp.
Yeah, it's incredibly poetic, isn't it? The very land Matthew first called that dripping green hell
Now becomes their path to freedom, a symbol of leaving that corrupt world behind.
While Fount Royal itself just collapses, still blinded, they believe the story that the witch had escaped with the help of her demon-possessed lover.
Bidwell's dream, completely dead. The town just left abandoned, gate ajar.
A total failure. And before Matthew fully commits to this escape, this new life, he writes a final letter to Woodward.
What does it say?
It's poignant. He expresses his gratitude, acknowledges their unique bond, reflects on how Woodward really shaped him. He hints the full truth, especially about Johnstone and maybe Smythe, will eventually surface. But he also acknowledges the loose ends, the missing surveyor, Shawcom's disappearance, those gold coins from the turtles.
So his journey isn't over.
Far from it. He plans to return eventually as an English subject, but he knows he's been forever changed by Fount Royal, by the fight for truth. It shows his belief in justice endures, even at great personal costs.
What an incredible journey through the darkness of Fount Royal. Matthew Corbett's determination to find the truth. even against powerful figures and ingrained beliefs. It's a powerful story.
And a chilling reminder, too, isn't it? How easily fear and prejudice can be weaponized by those in power. How a community can turn on itself manufacturing witchcraft out of pure human ambition and greed.
Yeah.
It reminds you that justice often isn't about what's obvious or convenient. It's about digging for what's hidden, what's woven into people's lives and motives, understanding that cunning fiction that's dressed up as truth. That's crucial.
So reflecting on all this, what does it mean for us, here and now?
Well, think about it. Fount Royal started as a dream, right? But it collapsed under the weight of ambition, fear, greed. Not supernatural evil, but calculated human cruelty tore it apart. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often, maybe in smaller ways in our own lives, do we mistake convenience for truth?
Yeah.
Or accept the easy narrative because it fits what we want to believe? And how much courage does it actually take to be a champion for what's right, especially when the world around you seems eager to condemn?
So the final thought for you, listening. What role might you play in unmasking the cunning fictions in your own world? And, perhaps more importantly, what might you be willing to sacrifice to do it?